welcome to your very first rhythm lesson here in Primary Prodigies. Now we've played a couple songs already, but before we go any further, we need to talk about where our musical notes live in the sort of left to right time frame. What does that mean? That's kind of a tricky thing. Well, let's look at our measure. Every measure we have here in Primary Prodigies, for the most part, is going to have 4 beats per measure. Can you say 4 beats per measure? One more time. 4 beats per measure. Yeah. So those 4 beats are indicated by these gray boxes. We have these alternating sort of dark and light gray boxes to show the strong beat, which is the first and third beat, and the weak beat, which is the second and fourth beat. We'll talk more about strong beats and weak beats later, but for now, I want you just to see that there are 4 spaces clearly defined by those boxes, and they're each the same length. Now that last bit is pretty much the most important part, and that is that each of those gray boxes takes up the same amount of time. Can you say rhythm equals time? Rhythm equals time. Again, rhythm equals time. Rhythm equals time. Yeah. So we've seen our different notes, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C, and we see how they go up the treble clef, and it can come back down the treble clef, and how that up and down space gets filled in music by the different notes, the different pitches. But when we talk about space going from left to right, when we talk about time, we are talking about rhythm. So say it one more time, rhythm equals time. Rhythm equals time. Yeah. So our very first rhythm, our very first note length is just going to be one simple note that takes up the entire measure. If something takes up the whole measure, if there's a note that takes up the whole measure, what do you think that note is going to be called? Do you know? It's the whole note. That's nice and easy. The whole measure, the whole note, all 4 beats. Now because the whole note takes up 4 beats, what we're going to do is we're going to say that very first beat, 1. Nice and loud, and then we'll very silently count the other 3 beats up to 2, 3, and 4. So let's try it together. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice job with the whole note. All right, let's cut that whole note in half to get 2 half notes. Can you say half note? One more time, half note. Nice. So the half note gets 2 beats. And again, we have 4 beats in our measure. So it's going to start on beat 1 and then happen again, not on the second beat because it's still ringing out, but on the third beat, and that one will ring out into the 4th beat. So doing the same thing, we're going to have a nice loud 1 and 3, and then we're going to sort of silently count the 2 and 4 to help keep our place. So let's try playing with the half note. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice job with the half note. So a quick little disclaimer about whole notes and half notes. I grew up as a drummer, and lots of times when I play whole notes and half notes, I do what drummers do, and I drum roll. So we're going to try those whole notes and those half notes one more time. There's going to be a slight variation that you'll see in the music, and if you ever see that variation, that means that we are rolling our drum or our belly or our legs or our boom whackers or whatever we're playing with nice and fast. So let's try this little pattern of half notes and whole notes doing some rolling. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whole note, 1, 2, 3. Whole note again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So the reason that we do a little bit of rolling when we're playing percussive instruments like boom whackers, like a snare drum, like our bodies, is because those notes don't ring out very well. If you have a guitar or a piano or a bell and you strum a chord or you play that piano or you hit the bell, the sound will ring out usually long enough to fill up a whole measure. However, if you hit yourself in the belly or smack a snare drum or hit a conga or play a boom whacker, those sounds are super short and they don't ring out and fill the whole measure. which is exactly why we sometimes roll when we're playing short percussive instruments to get a sort of longer note. This only really works for whole notes and half notes, and if you're doing this with a teacher or with your class, let your teacher or your class definitely decide which one you're going to do. You don't want some people doing the hit and some people doing the roll. It kind of depends on what instruments you are playing, but I just wanted to give you a quick heads up about why sometimes you will see me rolling through the whole notes and the half notes. Alright, so we're ready to talk about the quarter note. That quarter note is kind of our most important beat because it's from the quarter note that we can determine how fast the song really is. So if I count you in like this, 1, 2, ready, play, that's going to be 4 quarter notes, and you get the nice steady pulse of our song, of our tempo, of our rhythm through the quarter note. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the quarter notes scroll this way, and we'll count the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 as we play our quarter notes. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's loud. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice job with that one. So that's really straight ahead, really simple. Playing quarter notes is one of the easiest things to do because if you're listening to the music, your head or your body will pretty much naturally bob along with the quarter note. So when we counted our quarter notes, we used the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. But to add those eighth notes, which really live in between all of those quarter notes, we're going to add the syllable and. So instead of saying 1, 2, 3, 4, now we're going to say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's try it nice and slow to start, and then we'll do it a second time a little bit faster. 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Hey, nice job with that. So when we're counting rhythms like this, we call it counting out loud. Can you say counting out loud? Nice. So this may seem really simple, but it's something that most people don't do enough of. And if you count out loud, there's actually a small piece of your brain that listens to what you're saying. Obviously, there are parts of your brain that listen to the sounds around you and to what other people are saying, but there's a part of your brain that listens to what you are saying, and if you're saying 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, as you're reading these rhythms, as you're playing these rhythms, you're going to memorize them a lot quicker. Alright, so let's play and count out loud again with some faster eighth notes. 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Hey, excellent job with that, everybody. Alright, so we did it. We met the whole note, the half notes, the quarter notes, and the eighth notes, and we're going to head over to Sweet Beats to begin playing them together. Make sure to stick around to the end of this Sweet Beats lesson. We're going to talk a little bit more about the metronome and how you can use it to really improve your practice with rhythms. Alright, head over to Sweet Beats and I'll see you there.